Hi friends, welcome to another session of Cricket Cap. Things are really bad in the world. There is a war going on right now in Ukraine, and the Russian troops have aggressed upon the Ukrainian territory. This has been ongoing since a long time. The separatist movement in Ukraine and the Russians have always, accumulated forces on the border, and finally it has culminated into a war, which is a very sad thing because ultimately it is the civilians and people and their daily lives, their livelihoods, which suffer. So my heart goes out to people of Ukraine and also to the President Zelensky, who has been very brave and has won a lot of heart in the world and has shown to be an inspirational leader. And today, in I don't know if I can call in that theme, but India itself has fought wars in the past with Pakistan, and relationships have always been tense. So today I just wanted to, talk about the PSL, which I feel this season of the Pakistan Super League has been a cornerstone, and it has really, set the bar very high in terms of the cricket leagues around the world. And you can say it is now the second best league. Maybe BBL was the second best league, but now because BBL always clashes with the Australian home season, so you don't see the prime Australian players playing BBL. But this PSL has been amazing. We have seen some amazing cricket, some really nail biters, and some really good T20 cricket. So I just wanted to take some time on the Pakistan Super League as well as the Bangladesh Premier League also. But first, I'll talk about the PSL. I have been following PSL since the start. I don't know if it's because of the PSL that Pakistan T20 team is really strong, or but a credit must go to PSL because I have seen a lot of good talent who would not have been in the radar just through the first class cricket, who have come through the PSL and have made their mark. So I'll start this discussion on PSL. And the PSL finals are today, and Multan Sultan is playing Lahore Calendars. I think they are the two strongest teams in the tournament, and they deserve to be playing the finals. So let's start the discussion, and I'll be sharing my screen so that we can see what are the teams in PSL. The strongest and the number one team in PSL has won 9 out of 10 matches and has won the qualifier one and has made its place into the finals is Mohammad Rizwan's Multan Sultan. What an amazing team! What a balanced side it is, and they have been really dominant throughout this PSL. The only match they lost to was to Lahore Calendars, and they have been unbeaten. They started with 8 successive wins, and they had a minor stumbling block against Lahore Calendar. But let us look at this side and try to analyze what makes them such a great T20 side and what is so different with Multan Sultans that other sides don't have. So these are the combinations that the Multan Sultan have played throughout the tournament. They have openers who give not a flying start. They never give a flying start. They give pretty sedate start. Shan Masood and Mohammad Rizwan are the openers, and they almost play at a strike rate of 100 to 110, 120. They have someone as Maqsood. Maqsood is one who tries to accelerate, but he also doesn't play at a high strike rate above 150. He's also quite good. And then you have all the big hitters, the smashers of Multan Sultans, like Riley Rousseau, Tim David. And Tim David, I think it is because of his performance in the PSL that he got such an opportunity with Mumbai Indians, who bought him for around 7 crores. So Tim David has been great. And the best thing about Multan Sultan is Khushdal Shah. I mean, he has had a terrific PSL. I think he should be the man of the tournament for this PSL because he has bowled his, orthodox left arm spin in the power play, which takes lots of guts, and he has picked up wickets. He's averaging only some 12 or something. He has been really brilliant at the death. They had to chase 206 against Lahore Calendars, which has the best bowling lineup, and Khushil Shah just smashed Haris Rauf in the last over, and it was incredible to watch. But the main reason Multan Sultan has won, and it has won. Generally, the trend in PSL was earlier that the chasing teams win, but Multan Sultan has totally changed this trend with their bowlings, because they are able to defend even small targets. They have been very successful defending targets, even 160, 170, 150. They have defended all kinds of target because of their bowling. And I know I've been particularly impressed with David Willey. I'm expecting great things from David Willey in RCB if he gets the chance, hopefully. He has been missing in the IPL. I've missed him. Ruman Reis has bowled well in the death. Khushil Shah has been excellent in the power play. Anwar Ali. And the main reason they've won so many matches is Imran Tahir, who has taken so many wickets in the middle overs. He's the game breaker, the game changer. And I still cannot believe that no one picked him in the IPL, because he deserves to be picked. He's such a, canny leg spinner, and he can take so many wickets. Still very difficult to read him, even though he has played around 10 years of international cricket. You have, and they also tried Anwar Ali, who was a lost component. If you remember 2006 under-19 final, Anwar Ali was the one who destroyed that Indian under-19 batting lineup of Rohit Sharma, Cheteshwar Pujara, Ravindra Jadeja, and he actually, Pakistan under-19 managed to defend only 106, and India were 9 for 6. Such was the spell of Anwar Ali, and then he was lost in the cricketing world. He was playing league cricket in England and club cricket in England, and he was nowhere to be found. But he has now again come back into the scheme of things with T20 leagues, and he has proved to be a very good asset for Multan Sultans. So the main bowlers are Shahnawaz Dhani. Shahnawaz Dhani is another great find of PSL. He has bowled. He has a beautiful action, and he has good pace. He has a good slower, his good variations, good slower ball. And David Willey. I mean, David Willey has bowled clutch death overs for Multan Sultans. At in some games, like only 15 were needed to win of 2 overs, and David Willey bowling the 19th over conceded 2 or 3 runs. This happened 2 or 3 times, and David Willey saved them, from clear losses in some of the games. So credit to David Willey and Tim David, and Riley Russo has played some good knocks in some innings. He has really, hit big sixes, scored at a very big strike rate. So the crucial players, I think, has been Riley Russo, Tim David, Khushil Shah, David Willey, Blessing Muzrabani from Zimbabwe. He has also played a few games. But the 4 players who make the 5 players who make the difference in this team are Tim David, Imran Tahir, David Willey, and Rizwan, and also Shahnawaz Dhani. I think these 5 players make this team very different from others. So I'll come to the second team, which is Lahore Calendars. This had the best bowling attack when they started the PSL. Unfortunately, Rashid Khan had to leave the team midway because of his national duties. He's playing ODIs against Bangladesh now, and they had such. If you see this bowling lineup, Shaheen Afridi, Haris Rauf, these 2 alone are 2 of the best death bowlers of Pakistan. And apart from that, you add Rashid Khan into this. And the find of this team has been Zaman Khan, who bowls with a slingy Malinga-like action. And he's beautiful to watch. He, in fact, defended 8 runs in the final overs against, someone like Islamabad United, which is another good team. And Asif Ali was there, Azam Khan was there. And still Zaman Khan was able to, defend this. Their batting has not been their strong point, but the bowling has saved them. It is said in T20s, if you have a good bowling lineup, you can win matches even without a good batting, and they have proved this. Even Multan Sultans have done that. but Multan Sultans at least have, the firepower of Tim David and Riley Russo. But Lahore Calendars, they lack that firepower. And Harry Brook has been a surprise revelation. He scored a century in one of the very crucial games. And, David Visa, he played a brilliant knock in the eliminator. Actually, eliminator में लाहौर के अंदर स्ट्रगल कर रही थी बहुत बुरी तरह, लेकिन डेविड वीजा ने आके लास्ट ओवर में जो 28 रन्स मार दिए. एंड डेविड वीजा हैज बीन बॉलिंग इन द डेथ. he is a very, very useful cricketer coming from first South Africa and then Namibia. He has been very good. Lahore Calendars have been very good to watch. Kamran Gulam is someone who's a very good big name in domestic cricket. He has been okay, but Hafiz has not been that great, but their bowling has just been awesome. And after Rashid has left, Samit Patel has come in, and Samit Patel has also played the crucial all-rounder role both with the bat and the ball. He has been a multiple-time T20 championship winner in England, and he's again showing why he's one of the good cricketers in T20 cricket. Coming to Islamabad United, this team was the second best team in the league and was supposed to make the finals along with Multan Sultans. They totally outsourced their batting to foreigners. Paul Sterling, Alex Hales, Rahmanullah Gurbaz making the top three, or it was Colin Munro who was the number 3. And Shadab Khan, for the first time I saw like the potential of Shadab Khan, who was coming at number 4, and he was hitting huge sixes and was playing at a very good strike rate. I mean, he was really aggressive. And they had a batting lineup which never kind of relented the pressure. They were always on the attack. From Paul Sterling used to take 10 overs, 12 runs of the first over itself. Then Alex Hales would start firing from the other end. One of them gets out, Rahmanullah Gurbaz comes and he starts going off straight away. Then he gets out, Shadab Khan comes, he also goes, and they had Azam Khan then coming in. This was a batting lineup which was a dream batting lineup in the Pakistan setup. But what let them down is Alex Hales going away, Shadab Khan getting injured, and Alex Hales had a bubble fatigue and he went away to England. Paul Sterling had to go away for international duties because Ireland were playing the World Cup qualifiers, so that these changes really affected Islamabad United, and they lost the last 3 league matches, and they could not finish in the top 2, and that made all the difference, because if they would have finished in the top 2, they would have got 2 chances to make the finals, and definitely they would have made. Fahim Ashraf also played a very crucial role. One weakness in their bowling was Hassan Ali and Mohammad Wasim Jr. Both of them conceded a lot of runs. Even Fahim Ashraf in the death, conceded a lot of runs. This was a batting heavy lineup, very contrary to maybe a Multan Sultan or a Lahore Calendar. This was a very batting dependent lineup, and much of this team fortune depended on Shadab Khan. Agar Shadab अच्छा करता है with the bat and the ball, this team usually would win, and Shadab did really well. I mean, Shadab was just excellent. Agar Khushdil Shah is the number 1 player of the tournament, I would say Shadab Khan was the number 2 player of this tournament. And of course, I forgot to talk about Fakhar Zaman in the Lahore Calendars. He has been the top scorer of the PSL, and he has given some great starts. I mean, Fakhar has been also amazing. He has not got much support from others, but their bowlers have done the job. But in Islamabad, it has been the batters who have been doing the job again and again. Alex Hales has been just awesome. And I think PSL, again, just like I said for David Willey and I said for Tim David, I think Alex Hales' PSL performance is the reason why he got picked by KKR. And he's probably now going to open the batting for KKR, because Venkatesh Iyer may be used as a death over specialist, like he's doing the job for India to prepare for the T20 World Cup. So, great team Islamabad United unfortunately could not make the finals. Deserved to, if they had all the players for all the games, probably they would have made the finals. But the last match, David Visa totally, totally got into the Islamabad team, and scoring 28 runs in the last over just totally, took the game away from Islamabad. They were into it till the last over, but they could not finish. Asif Ali, one of the best finishers of Pakistan cricket. What an asset of Pakistan cricket he is, and he could not finish. the match. Another team that I liked the combination is Peshawar Zalmi. They also tried a lot of different players and a lot of combination. This team had a weak batting, I suppose, but they made up for it with the experience of two major experienced players playing, Shoaib Malik, Kamran Akmal, and Wahab Riaz. Three very, very experienced players, probably from the last decade or so. They really contributed heavily. I mean, especially Shoaib Malik was, I think he's the third best player of this tournament after Khushtil and Shadab Khan. And they had a very good, he also opened the bowling in power play a couple of times. They had a very good death bowlers. I think the find of the tournament was Salman Irshad bowling those slower bowls, and they played. I guess Arshad Iqbal also did a very good job. They bought in a spinner called Ali Majid, who was not a spinner but a slow swing bowler, like with an action like this, and he used to. He was weird and very tricky to play. Haider Ali did not have a good tournament here. He's one of the upcoming talents of Pakistan. Ben Cutting did not have a good tournament except for one match. Some of their key players did not perform. Hazratullah Zazai was a disappointment again. And some of their key players could not perform. Wahab Riaz was on very good in some game. He bowled a brilliant super over. But Peshawar depended on Shoaib Malik. They depended on Wahab Riaz. They depended on Kamran Akmal. Tom Kohler Cadmore also did not get going in this PSL season. So good show by Peshawar Zalmi to finish third, I think. That's been a good show from a team which looks very old and not in as strong as the other three teams that we discussed. But here's a team that totally failed, I mean totally choked. And I would totally blame the team management for picking such a poor team. There have been allegations that this team has no scouting power. They are very poor in scouting. They are not in touch with the Pakistan's, domestic cricket at all. They don't know the talent, grassroots talent of Pakistan cricket, and they did not have any specialist cricketers. They just filled with lot of bits and pieces cricketers, like Joe Clark, Nabi, Lamonby, Gregory. None of these guys actually fired. And the second column, if you see this batting lineup, they actually played a lot. The Cobain came from Australia, and Sahibzada Farhan was a total failure. Sharjil Khan did not. Babar Azam was very slow getting off the mark. He played a couple of very slow innings. They did not get the power hitting from anywhere. I mean, they were never in the game. Once you set a target of 160, 170, you know that Karachi Kings will not be able to chase it because they did not have the firepower. Mohammad Nabi, he used to come too late. In the top four, nobody has the firepower to go for such a big score, and nothing really happened. The bowling was okay, but even for their batting, even 160, 170 was looking so tough that the bowling did their best. But I mean, Chris Jordan came in later, but other bowlers, they did not find their marks. And even if they did, the batting really disappointed. You can't have a batting lineup full of bits and pieces all-rounders going into a tournament, highly competitive and prestigious tournament like this. So this is how the points table, Multan Sultans winning 9 out of 10. And if you see at the bottom, Karachi Kings, giving an example what a T20 team should not be full of bits and pieces players playing at a slower strike rate in the first 6 overs, never giving a chance while chasing. So Karachi Kings was very disappointing. And Lahore Calendars, 6 wins, Peshawar Zalmi, 6 wins. Islamabad started off very well, and it was only because of loss of players that they stumbled at the end. Quetta, I did not discuss Quetta, but obviously they had Sarfaraz as captain, and the only positive they had was Jason Roy and Will Snead at the top. Otherwise, their batting did not look, except for Iftikhar, it did not, ऐसा कुछ मजा नहीं आया बैटिंग में. इफ्तिखार ने कुछ अच्छे इनिंग्स खेले. So PSL का मैं यही बोलना चाहूंगा कि it has been a very good tournament, and I want Multan Sultans and Lahore Calendars to play a brilliant final, and I think it will be a great final. It is 2 of the best bowling lineups, one international quality bowling lineup like Shaheen Afridi, you have Haris Rauf, you have in batting mein Fakhar Zaman, you have Hafiz, so you have David Visa, So all these people going against some of the best domestic names in Pakistan cricket, Shahnawaz Dhani, Abbas Afridi, बहुत मजा आएगा. Roman Reis is also very good, and uh, let's see what Rizwan does in this final. And he has been brilliant as a captain. I mean, as a captain, hats off to Rizwan. You have just been way above everyone else. Babar did not have a great team, but still, I would say the way Rizwan has been cool and calm and has talked to his players when needed and not when not needed, that has been the hallmark of his captaincy. And as a keeper captain, I think he's the next MSD of Pakistan, surely. So I'll talk a bit about the Bangladesh Premier League. The final was actually very exciting between Comilla Victorians. Comilla Victorians, I never heard of this place before, and I came to know while reading about this place that they had a lot of a British presence when the Britishers were in the subcontinent, and that's why they have this name called Comilla Victorians. And it's between, I think it falls on the Dhaka Chittagong highway, this place, and was mainly an army kind of a base for the Britishers. And they had a very, very, very strong squad. If you see Sunil Narayan, so Sunil Narayan, one thing that they did well in the playoffs was as soon as the playoffs started, they made Sunil Narayan open, because this was one team which could not figure out its opening combination for like lot of time. Sometimes Imrul Case would open with Liton Das. Liton Das was the only constant, but sometimes you would see Fab du Plessis opening. Sometimes you will see, and finally they thought, okay, let's give Sunil Narayan a try. And Sunil Narayan played two blinder knocks in the playoffs, in the semis and the finals, and he was the reason they won the trophy. Actually, I mean, it was a close match against a very good Barishal side. They had very good overseas options. The difference was the overseas players they had, and they had Sunil Narayan, they had Faf du Plessis, and they had Moeen Ali. These three itself were enough, and they had very good Bangladesh talent. Mustafizur Rahman bowled really well. You had, Tanveer Islam bowled really well. I thought he bowled really well. And they had to make Cameron Delport sit out, who was initially one of the best players for the team. Mahmood Al Hassan Joy, he's been the find of the last Under-19 World Cup for Bangladesh, and he played a great knock in New Zealand as well. One of the reasons for victory in New Zealand, he's also a good find. So the team that they came up against in the final was Fortune Barishal, and this team had all the experience and all the legendary cricketers from around the world, and also Bangladesh. They had Shakib Al Hasan, they had Dwayne Bravo, they had Chris Gale, they had Shanto, who's also a very good player, and this team looked very balanced. And Shakib was bowling so well. I mean, he was the man of the series for this BPL. He was bowling really well, and he was able to defend targets like 140, 145 also very easily. And Mujib was also there, Mujibur Rahman, who supported really well. But when the finals came, I mean, they needed just 18 runs of 18 balls. And even in the last over, they needed just 7 runs or something. I mean, they could have easily cruised through to this BPL title was theirs to, win. And Comilla Victorians will count themselves as really lucky. I mean, Comilla did well in the league stages to finish second, but Barishal was clearly the one who had the best team and the best combination. But when the final hurdle came, it was Comilla Victorians with their overseas firepower and Mustafizur Rahman that sneaked in through. And that's the story of BPL. Another team that I really liked was Chattogram Challengers. I was watching these matches, and you would see this name Benny Howell. I mean, I have seen a lot of Benny Howell now in Bangladesh Premier League, and later on he came in PSL also. I think he's a very good utility cricketer, but I don't think he deserves a place in the IPL. But Kings 11 actually, Punjab Kings bought him actually, and he can bowl off spin, he can bowl leg spin, he can bowl seam up, and he's a big hitter as well. So Benny Howell did well, and Mrutyunjoy Chaudhary, the name that is, mark this name for the future, Mrutyunjoy Chaudhary. He bowled some beautiful last overs. He bowled beautifully at the death, and he was the guy along with Nasum Ahmed. Nasum Ahmed is the spinner who kept Chattogram alive in this tournament for a long, long time. I mean, Chattogram squad does not look as strong as maybe Komila or Fortune Barishal, but Mrutunjoy and Nasum Ahmed did really well along with Mehdi Hasan Miraz, also who is an experienced campaigner. And that's how they got the wins with their bowling, with their death bowling, superb death bowling performance. And hats off to Chattogram Challenges for a good, uh, good BPL. And of course, Dhaka was also one of the good teams with Tamim Iqbal and Mahmudullah, grossly underperformed again. So one team again here, like I pointed for Karachi Kings for PSL, that one team which felt really weak was Sylhet Sunrisers. Here again, you see a lot of bits and pieces cricketers. People need to understand that if you are having a team full of all-rounders, they need to be solid all-rounders. They need to do both the skills very, very well. Someone like Jason Holder or someone like Marcus Stoinis, they can do both the skills really well. But here you have a lot of bits and pieces cricketers. I mean, Alok Kapali is past his best, and they just I mean, this was not enough. Colin Ingram actually almost got them one win, but this was not enough. They had a very few foreign superstars, and it was never going to be competitive, to be honest. This is the points table. Fortune Barishal dominated along with Komila Victorians and Chattogram Challengers. Others team, they did not have the squad either, or they underperformed. It was a great final, and for the first time, I saw so many overseas players who preferred to play in the BPL. And it was great to see Fab du Plessis, Moeen Ali, Chris Gayle, Dwayne Bravo, and so many other reputed players, playing the Bangladesh Premier League, even though it was clashing with PSL. So I hope for a very exciting final today between PSL and in the PSL, that is between Multan and Lahore. I was supporting Lahore throughout the tournament, but I think I will go with a Multan win. I'm predicting a Multan Sultan win. This final, just because I think Multan Sultan have too many wicket takers. There is a discussion that law of averages will catch up to Multan because they've lost just once. But I feel the amount of wicket takers that Multan Sultan have, which is Imran Tahir to start with. Then you have Shahnawaz Dhani. Then you have David Willey, someone like that. And so many other, good bowlers, Ruman Reis at the death. Just the bowling looks very good, even though it is a mix of domestic uncapped players and few international players. And the firepower in the batting, Lahore Calendars, will Fakhar Zaman and David Visa be able to match the firepower of Tim David, Riley Russo? That is one thing to see. And it will be an interesting Harry Brook, Abdullah Shafiq are some of the underdogs who can make a big name for themselves in the final. So it will be an interesting watch, but I am hoping that Multan bowling will do the job again for them, because they have a very good fixed template and they follow the process and the results just fall in their way. So glad to have enjoyed this season of PSL. So I'm now looking forward to IPL and hope, and I'm really glad to hear that this time the PSL got very good viewership across the world and even in India. So it's been a good fun. So see you guys next time.